John Morgan here, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, this week I have quite a few things for us. First off is a little bit of an hour change. So at our Mason Market location, we're in the process of opening up for spring, and we're doing some spring improvements. But we're also getting in a selection of spring flowers, vegetable plants, rhubarb, and a bunch of other goodies right now. And the store just expanded their hours as we're starting to get into some nicer weather. So now we're open till 7 p.m. in the evenings instead of 6 p.m. And then on Sunday, we're open noon to 6. So that's at our Mason store location. And as we get more into springtime, here in the next few weeks, look for the hours at our Gallipolis store and at Belpre to also be changing. And also, this week, we have an event coming up. We have the Spring Color Tour. So it is this coming Saturday. And I'm going to be posting a video here in a little bit with details about it. So I thought I'd share it with you guys first here on Bob's Live. So I hope to see you at the Spring Color Tour. And here's some more information on it. Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses. Come out and join us this Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. for a tour of our production facility. It is our annual Spring Color Tour. So we'll start things off with a quick presentation on spring gardening, and then we'll do a guided tour of our facility. So you'll see everything from where we produce our soil, to sowing seeds, to growing finished product out here in the greenhouse. The tour is going to be held here at our production facility. The address is 1168 2nd Street, Mason, West Virginia. So it is the huge red building if you drive past Bob's Market in Mason that's on the opposite side of the road. So to learn more and register, head over to bobsmarket.com. And right on the home page, there's a button that'll take you to a page where it has all the information about it. And also there's a registration form there. Now, you don't have to register in order to come. That's just to help us kind of get an idea of how many seats we need to put out and how many snacks we need to buy. Yep, we're going to have snacks and door prizes. So again, come and join us this Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. for our annual Spring Color Tour. So that is our Spring Color Tour. So again, it's going to be this coming Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. And I'd love to see you there. We always have snacks, door prizes, and I always do kind of a short presentation on spring gardening, just to kind of get the wheels turning and get you ready for growing this spring. So again, that's going to be this Saturday at 2 p.m. Now, the day before, on April 11th, I'm going to be doing a presentation at the Bussard Library in Gallipolis, Ohio. And it's going to be on raised bed gardening. So come on out and check it out. It's at 6 p.m. On Friday evening, again at the Bussard Library. And you might have noticed in the video that I just played, the little screenshot of the website, I had a banner up on the website for a frost or freeze warning. And yeah, right now, let's jump into the weather because we have a freeze warning for the area tonight. Right now, it is only 44 degrees out. And I started to walk next door today to actually film the video that I just played. I started to go out the front door. I could feel the cold through the door, and I was like, I'm going to go out the back and walk through the soil production room. That way, I don't have to freeze walking across the parking lot. It's blooming cold out. Like, on a sunny day like today, for the heaters to be kicking on in the greenhouse, it's cold. Anyhow, yeah, it's 44 right now. We're looking at a freeze warning tonight. And right now, this is the area in red that has freeze warnings. So definitely going to get cold. But then we're looking at temperatures sort of stabilizing the rest of this week. So we're looking at kind of lows in the 40s through the rest of this week. So we're not going to get down to that freezing temperature level. And also right now, I was just scrolling down through looking at this earlier. Yeah, here we go. So the pollen level right now is at 36, and it's mostly tree pollen. So if you're sensitive to tree pollen, I feel for you right now. For me, it's grass pollen. So once we get further into springtime and the hay fields start producing pollen, that's when I start having issues. But yeah, that is a quick look at the weather forecast. Also, I do this on Tuesdays. We kind of cover weather. But also now, we're doing our Keep Growing podcast weekly now that we're back into the growing season. And it comes out at 8 a.m. every Saturday morning. So if you use Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon. It's also here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube right now. But we post it in a bunch of locations. But if you're local to our area here in the Mid-Ohio Valley, it is a great podcast for gardeners because we cover the upcoming gardening tasks for the week. I kind of go into depth with the weather forecast as much as I can. For that weekend, it's going to be pretty accurate, but the further you get out, the models start to kind of disagree with each other, so it becomes more inaccurate. But we take a look at the weather and then also any other news or noteworthy things for that week as far as gardening is concerned. So yeah, if you're gardening here in our particular region, check out the Keep Growing podcast. And yeah, with the cold weather, that kind of brings me to my last topic for tonight. And that is protecting your garden from the cold. So you can do that a number of ways. I have tarps that I put over stuff if it's going to be like super, super cold, to kind of protect my crops. But like for last night, it ended up not even frosting in our area. But for last night, I had ordered a few weeks ago these raised bed protectors that are netting, and I knew the netting would be enough to protect the beds from frost. So I went ahead and assembled them. But once I got them put together, I realized that my measurements were off a little bit when I bought them. But it actually gave me an opportunity to kind of improve the design. So I thought I would share what I did. These nets, they're a dime a dozen. I mean, well, they're a little bit more than that. They were like $50 a piece on the Jungle website. But you can find like a bazillion different versions of them, is what I'm saying. They're easy to find and really easy to install. You kind of get varying quality with them. So I always just buy like one or two to kind of test them out. And then if they hold up well, I'll buy more. Um, but let's take a look at them and what I did to kind of secure them to my raised beds. Because I think I came up with a pretty good idea. This evening I am out here doing some late night gardening. We're going to have freezing temperatures tonight, and I wanted to make sure that my seedlings had at least some protection. Now, they're cold weather crops, so they should be able to survive these temperatures, but every little bit helps. So, with keeping pests out of my peas, my lettuce, and my radishes, with having that in mind, a couple weeks ago I jumped on the Old Jungle website and found these nets that happen to be the exact same size as my raised beds. So I got them put together earlier this evening, but they ended up being just a little bit too big. I thought that they would fit down inside of my raised beds. It turns out they are the exact same size as my raised beds. So the hardware that they sent that you would normally use to secure it into the ground wouldn't work. So I figured out a much better, cheaper solution to keep these guys from disappearing in the wind. So my solution is a few of these cable clamps. What I'm doing is putting them right around the bottom bar here that's actually resting right on the 2x12. And by attaching them around it like that, I'm creating a nice little hinge here. So once it's secured, I can actually tip the entire thing over like a giant lid. So I just happened to think of this and made a quick trip to Home Depot. I had to go run some errands anyway and picked these up for just a couple dollars. If we do a quick tour of the garden here, we do have onion sets that are starting to come up. Our Brussels sprouts and kale are looking really nice. And our cabbages are looking pretty good too. And these net covers, they do have a zipper, which is very hard to operate with one hand. But I can get into them either with the zipper, there we go, or I can also now flip the entire thing off. Wait, that didn't sound right. So here it is with the zipper flap open, and if we go in close, you can see some of my peas are starting to sprout. They have really been enjoying this rain that we got. So not only do I have the zippers in the netting, the way that I secured this, the wind tends to come from this direction. So I put a clamp there and one down the other end. And that effectively created a hinge. So I can lift the entire thing off. And I might have to set like a cement block or something over here to hold it. But now I can easily access the entire bed. So that is a quick nighttime update of what's happening here in my garden. We're about a week out after I planted it, and you can see I already have peas coming up, onion sets sprouting, and I didn't show you the other bed, but I also have radishes and lettuce starting to sprout. So my spring garden is coming along nicely. So that is a quick look at what's happening in my garden. And yeah, hopefully in the next week or so we'll get out during daylight hours to work on it. Yeah, I said that I had to go run some errands. I was actually going to file my taxes last night, so yay, that's fun. Um, anyhow, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. And again, we have the Spring Color Tour coming up this Saturday at 2 p.m. And it's here at our production building. And well, until next time, keep growing. Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses. Come out and join us this Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. for a tour of our production facility. It is our annual Spring Color Tour. So we'll start things off with a quick presentation on spring gardening, and then we'll do a guided tour of our facility. So you'll see everything from where we produce our soil, to sowing seeds, to growing finished product out here in the greenhouse. The tour is going to be held here at our production facility. The address is 1168 2nd Street, Mason, West Virginia. So it is the huge red building if you drive past Bob's Market in Mason that's on the opposite side of the road. So to learn more and register, head over to bobsmarket.com, and right on the home page there's a button that'll take you to a page where it has all the information about it, and also there's a registration form there. Now, you don't have to register in order to come. That's just to help us kind of get an idea of how many seats we need to put out and how many snacks we need to buy. Yep, we're going to have snacks and door prizes. So again, come and join us this Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. for our annual Spring Color Tour.